Hi, Damon Scapin again, and I'm DC's Pastors Network Coordinator right here in Washington, D.C. It's my pleasure to serve CUFI in this way. I'm going to be giving you a little snapshot, a summary of Lesson 13, the 6 Days War. And so as we jump into the text, you see that in 1967, Israel faced this invasion of nearly 500,000 Arab troops, positioned along every border. Arab leaders spoke openly of their desire to wipe Israel off of the face of the map, and the United States and Europe refused to be a part of it. They refused to intervene. It was literally a battle of biblical proportion. But we remember that when we study Israel's history, we're literally studying the faithfulness and the promises and the character of God. And when we watch Israel's present reality play out, it's literally like watching a miracle unfold. And that's what you'll see in the story, in this historic lesson of the 6 Days War. So Israel is surrounded, not the first time, may not be the last time, but on June the 1st, it was clear that if they did nothing, the Arab armies on all of its borders would literally wipe them off of the map. Lebanon, Jordan, Iraq joined Syria and Egypt in their fight against Israel. In the early morning of June the 5th, we see that Israel led a preemptive attack, and their Air Force launched a surprise attack on Egypt's plains while they were still on the runway and wiped out the biggest part of their army. For the following 5 days, they continued to fight and win miraculous victories over the enemy's armies for more than 5 days. And then on the 6th day, we see at the end of the 6-day war, Israel had captured enough land to triple in size. They captured the Golan Heights. They were able to recover the Gaza Strip, the heartland of biblical Judea and Samaria, and even the old city of Jerusalem, where for the first time in 2,000 years, the people were able to go and to worship at one of their most holiest sites. Now, unfortunately, most of the land would eventually be exchanged for peace in the coming years. But Jerusalem, the hub, the capital of this ancient city and this modern state, would never be divided again. In fact, in your book, there's this wonderful quote from Commander Madagur, who was the leader of the IDF at that time. And he says, "The Western Wall, for which every heart beats, is ours once again," as he led the armies there to recapture it. He says, "Many Jews have taken their lives into their hands throughout our long history in order to reach Jerusalem and live here. Endless words of longing," he says, "have expressed the deep yearning for Jerusalem that beats within the Jewish heart. You've been given the great completion, the great privilege of completing the circle of returning to the nation, its capital and its holy center." And then he says, "Jerusalem is yours forever." Think about that in 6 days, the miracle that happened through this 6-day war. This was a miraculous victory and a watershed moment in the life of the modern state of Israel, in that it gained international recognition as this formidable state that was able to protect itself and to secure its citizens. Now, they gained an immense amount of territory in capturing East Jerusalem and the Western Wall and the Temple Mount, the holiest place in Jerusalem, but it also resulted in many challenges that they would have to deal with in the coming years and even today. One of those is the Arab world's refusal to recognize Israel and to work towards peace of any kind. In fact, we have the 3 no's from Khartoum, where the Arab League said unanimously, there's no peace, there's no recognition, and there's no negotiation. It would be 12 years before there would be any movement toward peace. However, we see that God worked a miraculous victory, and as we've seen in the past in Scripture, and even from the creation moment, it's been said that Israel and God fought together against the armies of Israel for 6 days, and on the 7th day, they rested. And according to Psalm 122, verse 2, they were able to say, "Our feet are within your gates, O Jerusalem."